friends, and welcome back to Movies, Munchies, and Moscato. I am Rhonda.
And I am Rochelle.
We're just a couple of friends who love movies, television, and of course wine. So if that is something that interests you, please stick around and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Now it's time for movie and TV news and pulp culture discussion. So first up, CBS will air NCIS Sydney this fall due to the ongoing strike. So this is an international version of the popular series that is filmed and produced completely in Australia, hence the title Sydney, because it's Sydney, Australia. So apparently the whole season has already been filmed. I believe it's already aired in Australia, so we're just going to get to see it stateside to fill in some, gaps in the fall schedule. So I think that's a great idea. I might have to check it out just to see how they float. If it's the same, what's different about it.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Paramount has renewed Mayor of Kingstown for a season 3.
I'm so happy.
So
I'm so happy.
That is ongoing. Of course, we'll get that again once the strike is completed. Universal Pictures has a Murder, She Wrote movie in the works. This is the series from the 80s and 90s that starred Angela Lansbury. There actually was a remake that they were supposed to come out with last year, but it didn't get picked up. And it starred, oh my gosh, am I forgetting her name all of a sudden? From Truth Be Told.
Octavia Spencer?
Thank you. It was supposed to star Octavia Spencer, but again, it didn't get picked up back then. So, but which I guess it worked out, or else she wouldn't have been in Truth Be Told. So hey, that works out.
So she wouldn't be in the new one then?
No, this will be a movie. It was a remake of They were actually doing another series, but it was a TV series remake. Now it's going to be just a movie remake. So I don't know why they think one will work versus the other, but I guess we'll see.
Right. Oh.
The Wonder Years has been canceled after 2 seasons on ABC. As you guys know, I did watch this. I enjoyed it. It's unfortunate. The ratings kind of went down because it had such a long break. Because they had to go on. I shouldn't say hiatus, but it was like they put it on hold when the Fred Savage craps happened with him, being accused of, they'll say bad stuff. And he was a producer on the show, so unfortunately that put it on hold for a while. So the second season only just came out in the summer, and it should have been out last fall. But oh well, I enjoyed it. If you guys never checked it out, I would suggest still seeing it on Hulu or ABC. I watched it on Hulu so I could watch it later, but it had a good ending, so overall it was a good show. Then Winning Time has been canceled after 2 seasons on Max. I have not watched this. This is about the start of the Lakers dynasty. I haven't watched it. I've heard it's good. And that they had to hurry and tack on like an epilogue that way, because it ended on a cliffhanger, so they kind of like tacked on something to explain like this is what actually like happened. So that's good, at least, since you couldn't film what the ending would have been. And then lastly, I did just read that the Actors Guild and WGA are negotiating again this week.
Oh boy.
So maybe something will happen where this strike will come to an end. I'm not that hopeful unless they actually give them what they're asking. Yeah. I don't see a compromise being made, but maybe I'm wrong.
I've heard and read some places that they don't expect this thing to be resolved anytime soon, that it could go into next year. It's like, brother, let's hope not. Right?
Yeah, that's too bad. I mean, eventually, the only good thing, I guess, is that, there's a lot more things that are already in the can they can come out with, which is good. Movie-wise, not obviously TV series-wise, because TV series don't film that far in advance. But, I don't know. Let's just hope.
Well, and the thing is, I'm not super worried about this year necessarily, but next year is when we're going to feel it. Or see it, because we don't have anything to see, any of the new stuff. But
yeah, like I said, I think that it mainly affects TV, because like with them, like with CBS doing that NCIS thing, it's obvious they have nothing new to give you, so they're just trying to like find something to fill holes. So
that's true.
So
that is true.
Yeah, that is what it is. So movies and TV shows out. We're gonna go. Past the last 3 weeks. So we're going to start with the former week, which had The Nun 2. This is in theaters and starred, is it Thaisa or Tessa? I always want to say it wrong. I think it's
Tasia. I think it's more like Tessa.
Oh, Tasia. I was going to say.
Tasia can be spelled many different ways that I've seen. So
true. Farmiga, and then Storm Reed. So 1956 France, a priest is murdered and it seems an evil is spreading. Sister Irene once again comes face to face with a demonic force. Cannot talk today, sorry guys. And we'll be reviewing this later because we did see it.
Yes.
Then we have My Big Fat Greek Wedding #3. This is in theaters and stars Nia Vardalos and John Corbett returning. So members of the Portokalos family, again, if I'm pronouncing it right, reunites in Greece for a hilarious and heartwarming trip full of love, twists, and turns. I saw the original Big Fat Greek Wedding. I never saw the #2.
I never did either.
And I loved the #1. I'm surprised. I just didn't think it could get any funnier. I really liked it.
Yeah. But I guess I should go back and see #2 and see if how it was. Then we have The Changeling. This is a new series on Apple TV and stars Lakeith Stanfield, Clark Bacco, and Adina Porter. So Apollo and Emma's love story is a fairy tale until Emma mysteriously vanishes. Bereft, Apollo finds himself on a death-defying odyssey through a New York City he didn't know existed. This apparently is a remake of this. I've never heard of it. Actually, no, I shouldn't say that. I've heard of The Changeling, but it was The Changeling...
The scary one.
No, it was the one a decade ago that Angelina Jolie was in.
Yeah, that was good. That was.
You thought it was scary, though?
No.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
think that one was scary, but I really liked it.
Yeah, with the missing son of hers.
Son,
yeah. But this is something... This is more sci-fi looking, this one, so...
Yeah, there is one that's scary, The Changeling.
Oh, okay. And maybe this takes after that. I'm not sure. It does look rather a little. I guess it is mysterious. So, and then finally, for that week, we have Sitting in Bars with Cake. This is a movie based on a book, and it stars Yara Shahidi, Odessa A. Zion, and Bette Midler.
Oh.
So Corinne convinces her baker best friend Jane to commit to a year of baking cakes and bringing them to bars with the goal of meeting people and developing confidence. Now, I did watch the trailer on this. It's one of those sad movies where an illness comes into play, changing the dynamics of the friendship. But so I think it looks good. You just got to know you're probably going to cry if you're someone who cries and really, those heartfelt things like I do. So
Yes.
if I watch it, I'll just have to be prepared.
Love it.
Okay, so for last week, we have A Haunting in Venice. This is in theaters starring Kenneth Branagh, Kelly Riley, Michelle Yeoh, and Tina Fey. So Belgian sleuth Hercule Poirot investigates a murder while attending a Halloween seance at a haunted palazzo in Venice, Italy. This, yes, is the third film in the Poirot mystery series after Murder on the Orient Express and Death on the Nile. So this is the third movie in that series. So looking forward to that. Looks good, a little spooky to fit with the Halloween month.
Yes, I'm
that's
excited.
coming up. So
Excited to see it.
we'll go see that and give you a little review of that later. So we have Love at First Sight. This is a movie on Netflix starring Haley Lou Richardson from White Lotus, Haley Steinfeld, and Ben Hardy. So on their flight from New York to London, Hadley and Oliver fall in love with each other. However, they lose each other at customs, and the possibility of ever meeting each other again seems improbable, but destiny may have a way of changing the odds. This is seriously a rom-com, as you can probably tell from the the little synopsis. It does look cute. So this is one of those movies you could probably just put on and watch really quickly. It's probably 90 minutes and just a feel-good rom-com. So I'll probably check it out. Then we have season 3 of The Morning Show on Apple TV. Again, this stars Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon. So for season 3, the stakes are high as the future of the network is thrown into question and loyalties are pushed to the brink when a tech titan takes an interest in UBA. Said tech titan is played by John Hamm, as I understand it. Unexpected alliances form, private truths are weaponized, and everyone is forced to confront their core values both in and out of the newsroom. I have not started this yet. I decided to wait.
Love John Hamm.
Right? I decided to wait for more episodes to be out since it's on Apple. I don't
Right.
want to do the weekly if I can avoid it. So I'm just going to wait as long as I can before I even get into this. So.
Well, gosh, I still have to finish last season, but I think I've only got a couple episodes left.
Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah, and yeah, season 2 it wasn't as good as it was a hard one to get through.
See, that's exactly correct. For me, for sure.
Yeah, I liked how it ended up, and it was kind of cliffhangery. So I do want to know, especially in terms of Brad. What's her name? Grease's character, Bradley Branson.
Bradley.
Mm-hmm. It's Bradley. Okay. Yes. Well, the question she was asked at the end, I was like, oh my God, what's she gonna say? Anyway, but like I said, I've waited this long. I can wait a little longer. Then we have The Other Black Girl. This is a new series on Hulu, and now this is also based on a book. This stars Ashley Murray, Sinclair Daniel, and one of our favorites, in my opinion, a Garcelle Bouvet housewife from Beverly Hills.
Oh, yes.
So Nella, an editorial assistant, is tired of being the only black girl at her company, so she's excited when Hazel is hired. But as Hazel's star begins to rise, Nella spirals out and discovers something sinister is going on at the company. I watched the trailer at this. I've never read the book. And yeah, it's like combining workplace angst with, like, she's seriously, like, losing her mind. Like, she thinks someone is, like, trying to, like, kill her.
Oh.
It reminds you of, like, any nightmare you've ever had if you've honestly worked in an office. I've had those nightmares where someone has burst in and was going to kill me, or that I was the one trying to kill somebody else.
Right? Yes.
Let's be honest. I've had that nightmare. So... that was my take on it when I saw the trailer. I'm like, okay, I might have to check that out. Then finally for last week, we have A Million Miles Away. This is a movie on Amazon and stars Michael Pena and Rosa Salazar. So Jose M. Hernandez was born in Mexico. While working in the fields, he co-developed the first digital mammography imaging system. Mammography, okay. He then persevered to become a crew member on Space Shuttle mission STS-128. Well, that's cool.
Interesting.
Right? I love those true stories. It's probably a feel-good true story, hopefully. Okay, so for this week, we have The Expendables 4. This is in theaters and stars Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham, Dolph Lundgren, and Tony Jaa, among a load of others, if you've ever seen any of these. So armed with every weapon they can get their hands on, the Expendables are the world's last line of defense and the team that gets called when all other options are off the table. I will be seeing this on Saturday because, you guys, I don't know why, they're just dumb blow-em-up films, honestly, but they're just so entertaining. I love all these old school action, movies that I used to watch, due to my dad originally, and I just ended up getting so into him, and I love me some Jason Statham, so I'll always watch something he's in, so...
Nice.
No clue on what the story of this is because to me the trailer tells you nothing. And if there's not a story, it's fine. Like it could. It's just fun, blow 'em up entertainment. It's cool. So I'll let you know how that is. Then we have Spy Kids Armageddon. This is a movie on Netflix and stars Gina Rodriguez and Zachary Levi. So when the children of the world's greatest secret agents unwittingly help a powerful game developer unleash his computer virus, gives him control of all technology, they must become spies themselves to save their parents and the world. Yes, this is a remake of the original Spy Kids movies that came out back with, like, Jessica Alba.
I never did see that.
You never watched those?
No.
Oh, they were actually very entertaining.
I heard they were good.
I did like them. So this is a remake of those. So I don't know if I'll watch it, but I did like the original one. So who knows? I don't know. I feel like because when they came out, I was in college already, I want to say, but I was still like intrigued by it.
Right.
Enough to watch it.
That's probably why I didn't see them.
And so, but now I don't know if I don't feel intrigued right now to watch another one of them, but I mean, who knows. Then we have No One Will Save You. This is a movie on Hulu and stars Geraldine Singer and Zach Duane. I think I'm saying that right. So Bryn finds solace within the walls of the home where she grew up until she's awakened one night by strange noises from unearthly intruders. As you can see, because we're nearing Halloween, you're getting these spooky movies that are coming out, and that's exactly what that sounds like. And then finally for this week, we have The Continental, which is from the world of John Wick. This is a limited series on Peacock and stars Colin Woodell, Mel Gibson, and Ray McKinnon. So The Continental is a chain of hotels around the world that serves as neutral ground for members of the underworld. The hotel workers of The Continental try to handle the hitmen and murderers who come to stay. So if you've ever seen a John Wick movie, you know what the Continental is. This is the hotel John Wick goes to for safe haven. No one's allowed to hurt you when you're on the property. You can recuperate, get doctors, whatever you need in between going out and, I guess kicking butt or whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
So this is, like I said, this is a prequel. So it's set in the 70s, according to the trailer, and I think it looks great. I will check it out. It's supposed to only be 4 episodes, so it's really short. Just a quick introduction to what that hotel is. So I like that, short and sweet, to the point. So I will definitely check it out. All right, so we have some movie reviews for you. We have seen Equalizer 3 and The Nun 2 within the last few weeks. So we're going to start with Equalizer 3. So that starred Denzel Washington and Dakota Fanning.
Yes.
And so this is a follow-up, obviously, to Equalizer 1 and 2. Got to do the trilogy. Now, this is something that I think is cool, only because, first off, that Denzel doesn't like to do sequels. This was the first movie series he ever did sequels to, because he really liked it. So I think that's really awesome. So the basic story is that McCall is now in Italy. He's recuperating, and he ends up liking and finding a home there amongst the people. And of course, trouble comes his way, and he feels the need to protect him. I enjoyed this movie. I would say I actually enjoyed this one a little more than part 2.
Oh, okay.
Number 1 is still my favorite, but I actually do feel that in order of liking it, I'd say it was 1, 3, then 2. This one was definitely had a lot more violence, I would say, than the other, which is weird because obviously 1 and 2 had violence. This had more, if you all can believe that. It was just a good, a good crazy action movie.
Well, you know what is interesting to me is, I don't know how I missed this, but I went back and watched Equalizer 1.
Okay.
You know, nothing like starting from the end and working your way back. But I never saw that.
Oh.
And I thought
okay.
it was, I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. So now I need to see the second one, because apparently I didn't see it either. So then I can do 3. But I did like 3. I did think it was a tad bit slow.
Okay. Yeah, it had a slower start.
It wasn't as long. I don't know. I felt like this the storyline was good.
Yes.
But again, I think that it does help for you to at least see the relationships.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And especially too, I think, like, even though you said you didn't like 2 as much,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm sure there's stuff in number 2 that helped in 3. Probably
Yes.
more so
Yes.
than 1.
Yes. Now knowing you didn't see 2, yeah, I'm surprised you didn't pick up I'm surprised you didn't ask me what the correlation was with the ending. I thought you understood what it meant, but
No.
but seeing okay, so
No.
yes, you do need to see number 2, or else
Okay.
yes, that'll make a little more sense to you. But yeah, overall, I did like it. It was nice to see Dakota Fanning in there, just because of their Man on Fire, past in that movie. So she didn't have a big role, but it was a nice touchstone again that touches on stuff that happened in number 2. So yeah, overall, I did like it. I would give this Equalizer 3 a 4 wine cork for me out of 5. That's what I would rate it.
Okay, and I would probably agree with you as well.
Okay, all right.
Of course, it's Denzel Washington. Hello. For me, there isn't anything he can't do.
Yeah, that's true.
I am such a fan. I'm such a fan.
Then we watched The Nun 2.
Woo-hoo!
Now, little preference to this, I went, just as a favor, basically, because
Yes, you did.
I am not into these type of horror movies. Well, I guess any horror movies, really. I like Saw, but I don't consider Saw horror movies. I know
Right.
that's what the genre is. I don't consider them a scary movie. This I knew, there's a good
You're right.
likeliness.
Saw is not scary.
Yeah.
It is gory.
Yes.
It is not scary.
This is more likely that I'm going to get, jump scares and get jumpy. And so that's why I was on the fence about it. But y'all color me surprised, but I actually did like it.
Yay!
In the end, I enjoyed myself. I actually didn't honestly jump that much, even though I could see where it was. But the storyline is what kept me interested. So, and that's a big deal to me. So I actually need to go back still and watch the first one, because I am interested now to see where it started to where it ended up. So,
and it was a good jump scare for me.
This one was a jumpy one.
I love this whole universe, right? Mm-hmm. This whole Conjuring universe, and so it was good. In fact, I've never ever done this before, but the way I was sitting, and I had a huge thing of popcorn, and there was this part that frickin' took me out, and the popcorn went everywhere. Mm-hmm. I had it all over me, maybe some on Rhonda, I don't know. I was picking stuff off of her, picking off me, but I liked it. I was not disappointed.
Yeah, I was actually pleasantly surprised that I did enjoy it. So, I mean, the story honestly does just pick up, not right after, I want to say, is it like maybe a 2-year span, I think it said, maybe?
Yes.
From the first to this one.
Yep.
But I mean, it's continuing story, continuing characters, And so even though that was the case, just so you know, I didn't feel like lost. It just makes me interested to go back and watch the first one. But if you're out there like me who never saw the first one, no worries. You can go on to this, and you're still going to be fine. You're still going to be entertained and intrigued by what you see. So it wasn't.
And you asked me a couple of things, which wasn't hard to explain, or like you didn't seem to be lost, or well, why isn't this? It was just a couple characters and. Like why the demon had made its way into the one character. Right. Well, that was held over from the first. So, for those of you who've seen the last one, it of course it continues on. The thing doesn't just stop. You can't just kill it.
Right.
So anyway, I thought it was good.
It made sense. Yeah. So, I'm gonna give it a 3 wine cork for me.
I'm gonna go 4.
4. Okay. Of course, it's like a little better than me, but overall, yes. So I recommend go ahead and watch it. I think you'll end up enjoying it in the end.
Yeah, it's a great.
Even
Halloween
if you do
flick.
get scared, it's fine.
Yes. Yeah. See, that's the thing with this Conjuring universe. You can just start with the Conjuring 1, and then just go. And you can just have a marathon with all of these. Just scare one after another. I actually did that one year with some friends of mine, and I think we literally took the whole day with blankets and just sat there and was terrified all day. It was awesome. It was so fun.
Sounds so awesome. Okay, so for what we have been watching this week, for me, I got through, I should say it was the last few weeks, I'm sorry, but so I watched season 1 of the Netflix series, The Diplomat. This is something, obviously, I want to say it came out late last year, and I kept seeing like the picture of it scrolling through, and I was like, nah, and then finally I was like, I'm just going to check this out. It starred Kerry Russell and Rufus Sewell as a married couple. He is a former ambassador to, what am I forgetting? I want to say it's to England. I'm sorry. It's to England. And she now is, they've asked her to be the current ambassador. And it is very interesting, the dynamic. Like, he still wants to be in the spotlight, even though he knows he's not ambassador anymore. She doesn't like to be put in these positions. She likes doing work, but not front and center. And it was just an interesting dynamic watching them, the push-pull, the fighting, right from the start that they're actually supposed to be getting divorced, but they're just they were hanging in there for the purpose of just getting her inserted where she needs to be and knowing exactly how things move and shake. And so you have that in the back, of your mindset there as she's trying to learn everything as the ambassador does and navigate all these political shenanigans that are going on over in England. I liked it. I was surprised that I liked it, but I did like it. It was renewed for season 2, which is good because, oh my gosh, of course the end is on a cliffhanger where somebody amongst everyone that works there, there's 3 options of who died. It seriously ended. It was a car bomb. You don't know who died. I was like, damn it. I was so mad. So I'm like, oh gosh. And there's 3 or 4. I want to say maybe there was 4. No, there's 3 options. No, there was 4. Oh my gosh. There was 4 options as to who it could be. So again, I don't know when we'll see it, but I can't wait to see season 2 for that. So recommend that. And then I finished Lioness on Paramount Plus. Season 1. It originally was advertised as a limited series, so I don't know if this will ever get a second season. It ended in a way where it's fine if it doesn't, honestly, but I can see where else it could go. Now, this is the another Taylor Sheridan series. The Lioness is a group within the CIA made up of women. There's men in the group, but it's women that they send out on these clandestine missions in order to infiltrate terrorist groups in order to get information, to stop said terrorist groups. So they end up recruiting a newbie who'd only come out of, I want to say is she a Marine or I want to say she's a Marine, who's only 25. She only just came out of training maybe a couple months before she ends up getting thrown into this. And so you're basically watching how she's learning how they work and don't work. Let's be real. Zoe Saldana is playing the head of said group, and she's a tough cookie. She has a husband and 2 children at home, but she's always going out on these missions, and it's upsetting her home life. So that's another dynamic of it. Nicole Kidman is playing her boss above her, who works, she's the liaison with the White House on these missions. And then, yes, you had a couple of drop-ins by Morgan Freeman, because he's a producer on this series.
I love Morgan Freeman.
And he is playing the Secretary of Defense. So it was a good series. It did release weekly. I got started late, so luckily for me, I was able just to watch it as I wanted. By the time I got to the finale, I was still on track. I was watching like two or three a week, and it was fine. So it's a really good show. I do recommend it. Another one that Taylor actually I thought did really well with. So
awesome. He's really good. He really is. Just everything he's produced so far. Like, I am so excited that Mayor of Kingstown has been renewed for 3. Because as we talked, I was so worried about Renner.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
That him not being able to come back, but it's going to be fine. Yay.
Right. I would be surprised if, depending on when they get to start shooting again, if they end up working his injury in, if they need to.
And because it is TV, they can't do that till the strike is over, correct?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Such a stupid thing.
Yes.
Don't they know they're messing with us?
They know they still care. And then finally, I got through Truth Be Told Season 3 on Apple TV.
Yay.
I did finish it. This starred Octavia Spencer, per usual, and then this season had Gabrielle Union. And it focused on missing girls in a predominantly black neighborhood, but there was also a couple Hispanic girls missing, and then one very rich white girl. Which, let me tell you, that story, my jaw was on the floor. Like, when you find out what was going on with that chick, I was like, what? So it was a very, very good. I was very intrigued. I was like, I gotta get there. So it was very good, a lot better than season 2. As you know, I couldn't even finish season 2, so I ended up asking Rochelle over here how it ended, because I'm just like, I'm not gonna finish it. I just can't. It was moving way too sluggish for me, and I just didn't care anymore. So I was like, just tell me how it ended, knowing that it wouldn't matter going into this. So this was a really good season and series. It is over. It wasn't renewed. It was canceled. So we're not going to see any more seasons of Truth Be Told, unfortunately. But I do recommend you give it a watch, at least for seasons 1 and 3.
Awesome. Yes, I need to finish that one.
Yeah.
And I love it. That's one of my favorite series.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a lot of crazy things happen in my life. With some health, scares with my son. So I haven't had a whole lot of time to watch some things, but I did start watching The Wheel of Time, season 2, and I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. I'm not. I think that it's so interesting and kind of irritating that one of the Aes Sedais and her ward she's not communicating with, and of course they're the main two, but and then you finally figure out why, and it's like, I mean, you kind of know why from the end of last season, but for him to find out is kind of heartbreaking, but it's really good. It's really good. So if you haven't seen Wheel of Time, I would suggest that you start season 1. And then, me and my documentaries, and I can't remember if I've talked about the Murdaugh murders.
I don't think so.
Okay, because I think I watched that a while ago. But anyway, because it's a series as well. But it follows the Murdaughs and the top. Anyway, what's his name? Oh my gosh, the dad. The one.
Isn't that Richard?
No, the one who went to jail for the whole thing, for killing his wife and child. Eric Murdaugh is... it's Alec Murdaugh, dad. Oh, okay. Eric Murdaugh is the son. Anyway, wow, talk about a crazy family. I mean, just the whole dynamic of the family and how much they control in this town and how deep their roots go is, you just know this guy committed the murders. However, this was kind of told by the son, Eric, because he believes his dad is innocent, so they're trying for a new trial.
Right.
And, man, it just kind of leaves you wondering. Because he lied about not being at the kennels where his wife son were killed.
Yes.
He lied about being there, and then his son Paul's phone was recording when this was all happening.
Right.
And it turned off at the same time. I guess his wife's phone went dead, and that's when the murders are assuming happened. So the fact that he said he was never down there and at his mother's house, there was a time period that was not accounted for. So, you know, you could see where maybe he wouldn't have been involved, that there is a possibility he wasn't involved, but the fact that he lied about even being there, I think that's what hung him right there. That the lies, plus, you know, there's so much death surrounding that family. It's like, how? And so I have to say that I'm a little perplexed, and I could see him not doing it, but I think I don't know, he was a great father, and I think that he was a good husband for the most part, except that he was embezzling from hell to breakfast. You know, is he a killer? It just never came out that way. He was a fixer. He could fix. He could get his kids out of trouble. Right. You know, he and the grandfather. But did he murder his family? It's very perplexing. I mean, he needed the money, so just in that regard, he probably could have. But he could have had someone else do it too.
That's true.
So if you know. Check it out and see what you think. And see what you think, what you might think really happened. And then I did watch Harley and Katya. That's also a documentary. It's about these ice skaters. Harley is from Australia, and Katya is from Russia. And she was the 16-year-old amazing skater. She was being trained in Russia, obviously, and she didn't have much to her name. And Harley was
an ice skating duo?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So they weren't, right? Because he's in Australia, she is in Russia.
Oh, okay.
And their coaches, Katya with this kid, and found out who he was. He flew to Russia to see if he wanted to partner with Katya, who couldn't speak any English. He knew no Russian, but the two of them skated beautifully together. Like, they had only been maybe together a month, and they looked like they'd been together for years. That's how good they were. So they came from nobodies all the way up to going to the Olympics.
Okay.
But this poor little Katya, she didn't have a lot of support. She didn't have support from her family. These kids, apparently, they don't make much money until they are really, in the circuit, and they're winning competitions.
Yeah.
It's super sad. And she started drinking heavily, and nobody knew it. Nobody knew it until signs. Yeah, so she'd come to practice, and she'd have,
and she was functioning.
And she was functioning.
Interesting. Okay.
Which is probably that youngster in her, but it just got perpetually worse.
Okay.
And she was drinking, and then she started having epileptic seizures, and she was ruining her kidneys. She was doing all sorts of things, and ended up after several years of being together, it really just she was told by her doctors that she could never compete again. She was done. It was just such a sad ending to their relationship.
Oh.
And almost getting there, but not quite.
Right.
Super amazing, and yeah, she ended up passing at such a young age. So.
Like how? Oh, we don't know what age it was.
I think it was like 18 or 19, maybe. I'll have to double check. I started falling asleep.
Oh, so they were only together like 2 years. If she was already 60 when they met?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
So it was pretty sad. It just kind of ended.
Wait, what decade is this?
This was
80s, 90s,
2016.
Oh, in the 2000s. Okay.
Yeah. And then when they went to Seoul.
Oh, okay.
So they competed in Seoul.
Oh,
so
okay.
Pyeongchang or whatever, Pyongyang, which was, I think, the city.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
Anyway, yeah, so they competed there, and oh, it's just kind of a sad story, but it's a great documentary because you see these amazing couples. Like, I love to watch the ice skating. You see these amazing couples, but you don't see the ending. You know, you don't hear their stories. So I do like the stories. Anyway, but yeah, it's definitely a good one. So there you go. Oh, and I've started watching Sister Wives.
Oh, of course.
Of course. And you know, Christine has left. Janelle is leaving. Actually, all three wives have left. The fourth favorite wife is still with Cody, but the other three are gone. So it's just kind of sad, but it's just showing the disintegration of the family.
Yeah.
I think that's where we're at right now.
I'm sure I'm getting some more. We'll see.
Right.
Now it's time for some movie trailer talk. First up, we have The Bikeriders. This is out December 1st and stars Tom Hardy, Austin Butler, and Jodie Comer. So this, I'm on the fence about it. It looks a little interesting. Jodie Comer's character is telling, I'm not sure why, because again, it's, I guess it's just the first trailer, but she's talking to maybe a reporter, I don't know, about her husband, who's played by Austin Butler, and him getting involved with this biker gang run by Tom Hardy in the 60s. So it looks a little intriguing. It's just, I guess I just need to see a little more. It didn't grab me out of the gate. What about you?
Yeah, no. I it might be okay to watch on TV. Maybe, and if it comes out, it's streaming, but... Mm-hmm.
Not
yeah, I don't know that I'll be, getting in line at the theater.
Right.
Unless there's really good popcorn, which there will be, so...
Although I am always impressed with Tom Hardy, who, is English, yet he always puts on these interesting accents, which I believe they're supposed to be maybe in Massachusetts, because to me he sounds very Bostonian to me, so I'm always impressed when someone can change their complete dialect like that.
That is true, yes.
Anyway.
Uh-huh.
Then we have Godzilla Minus One. This will also be out December 1st. And stars mainly a Japanese cast. It is from a Japanese filmmaker. So I'm going to butcher these names, but here we go. We have Ronosuke Kamiki, Manami Hamabe, Yuki Yamada, and Kurnosuke Sasaki. Is what I'm going to go with.
Did you practice these?
No, I did not.
That was good.
I didn't. I think I did pretty well.
I don't know how many you got right now.
Anyway, I have to say this looks like a very faithful adaptation to old school Godzilla. That's what I got from this. And it's basically a teaser trailer, but yeah, it just reminded me of maybe like an old school monster movie with Godzilla. Destroying everything. There's no reasoning with him. This is just how it's going to be. Towns, boats, trains, doesn't matter. He's destroying some area of Japan. So I do think it looks actually really good. It will be in the Japanese language, so there will be subtitles, but I think it actually be worth a watch. And I know Rochelle's a fan of Godzilla in general.
I am.
So that may be something.
Especially with the new technology these days.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And then finally, we have Five Nights at Freddy's. Again, like we said, it's Halloween's coming out here. So this will be out October 27th, starring Josh Hutcherson, Matthew Lillard, and Elizabeth Lale. So this, I don't know what to make of this. It gives me Chucky vibes because you're dealing with inanimate objects, but then they want to throw in that there's I believe possession going on
right.
also of children. I'm like, huh? So it's I don't know, so much is being it didn't look like it would scare me right now, but I have a feeling something like that would in the end. But the animals in Freddy's are so much bigger than say a Chucky doll that the fact that I could see them coming maybe wouldn't affect me as bad. I feel like Chucky got me because it's this little doll that can get little small spaces, and it's whereas this one it's
Chucky was terrifying. He just
was.
It
just And these they look like the bears from the Country Bear Jamboree that Disneyland used to have. I know they don't have them anymore, but that's what they remind me of. They play instruments and like a scary Chuck E. Cheese. There we go. That's what I was trying to get at. Freddy's is like a scary Chuck E. Cheese. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yes. Yeah, I almost laughed a little bit, but because you know me, I take my scary movies seriously.
Right? Yeah.
So,
of course.
Yeah,
of course.
I I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with this one, and kind of looks a little silly to me, but
yeah, it does look a little silly. So I mean, we'll see. I'll have to hear more about it. It definitely wouldn't be one I would see in the movie theater. Once it went on to streaming, maybe, but I wouldn't make a trek to the theater to see it. So
I agree.
Those are your options.
Well, that's all that we have for today. Thanks so much for listening. We had fun time and hope you enjoyed it as well. Please give us a review or comment. It really does help us out and lets us know what it is you're interested in. So please follow us on Instagram at movies_munchies_moscato, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging.
Thank you, guys.